Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of EdTech on the street in the city that never sleeps. We are back in our office here in New York with our next guest, Arjun, chairperson of Magic Soulmark, Magic EdTech, just all things magic, I would even say, visiting us for our rooftop event here later today. Arjun, this is a continuation of our previous leadership talk series. So we already have who you are, some information about you, but what I want to know are 3 fun facts.
Okay. I'm just an electronics engineer, graduated in 1970 from the Indian Institute of Technology at Kharagpur. Worked for 5 years with DCM and then with 5 other colleagues. That 6 of us started HCL. I thought I'd retire when I turned 50. It sort of didn't work out that way. I ended up starting another company with Aki and a few other people. TechSpan, which morphed into Headstrong, which we sold in 2011. And I've been working with startups, mainly in education and healthcare, technology startups, and try to improve outcomes for the economically underprivileged, mainly in India. That's what I've been doing. And, fun facts, look, I get into a lot of trouble at home because I collect coins, I collect stamps, I collect model cars. Yeah. They're all over the house. There's no place to store them, Yeah.
Wow.
I haven't, unfortunately. I'm hoping when I retire, if I retire, I'll have the time to sort them out. And I'm hoping one of my grandkids, the kids are not interested, but one of my grandkids takes interest in some of them so that he or she can then, take it on. But
yeah. Do you have a favorite coin amongst the whole collection? One favorite? I know it's a tough question because
one favorite is a tough one, but a lot of old Indian coins that were issued by princely states.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, India used to be a country of some 4,000 princely states.
Right.
Which the Brits sort of ruled by saying that defense and finance is with them and then the rest. And so they used to strike their own coins. And in fact, my maternal grandfather was a collector, so I have his collection.
So you inherited that one and built up. Okay.
Yeah,
that's so cool.
And then, a lot of Europe had coins. Every country, Germany had marks, France had francs. Now they're all euros.
Yeah.
So when I used to travel in the 70s and 80s in Europe, I collected a lot of those coins. So I have a lot of these old coins that you don't see nowadays.
Yeah, that's so cool. Well, I wish I had some coins because I previously lived in Moldova, and I don't know if you've heard of Transnistria, because I had some of their coins. Oh, next time you're here, I'll bring them. Okay, very cool. So that I love hearing collection stories. I collect only postcards at this time, but like you said, coins, now everyone's switching to the euros. It's less fun.
Yeah.
Harder to find.
Except that euros, every country has a slightly different thing in euros, and that gets a little complicated. I have to go to Wikipedia or to Google to find out what the differences are.
Yeah.
But I was at Slovenia some years ago, and they had a €3 coin.
€3? Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that. Because, wow.
So I found a couple of them, so that was nice.
Can you only use them then in Slovenia, or can you?
I have no idea. I didn't use them. I just collected them.
Yeah, so you didn't try it? Okay. Wow, very cool. Now we're going to segue into EdTech. Back to why we're here. Although I love talking about collecting, we'll save that for later. We're going to jump into it. So our first question is, you've seen Magic grow through multiple ways of technological change. What's been the most rewarding part of being involved with Magic, EdTech, Soulmark, and where do you see the company's role in shaping the future of digital learning?
That's a huge question, but to start with, I think digital education is going to be the key to how people learn in the future. In fact, yesterday or today's newspaper talked about how grade 12 kids are not as good at reading anymore than they used to be earlier. I remember that report. So I think in a way it's going to be important. I think the way we're going to get children to learn is by giving them animation with the characters they want. just to go back a little bit into education, years ago when I met Bill Norris, who ran Control Data Corporation, I'm going back to the 80s, he had a dream that they would have a mainframe at the back and what we now know as externals in front, and it would be given to every child. So if a grade 3 student who was good at math wanted to do math at 11 o'clock at night, why couldn't they do it? And then if he's good at math, he or she, he could do grade 5 math in grade 3, and the teacher wouldn't have to bother about them, but really focus on the kids who aren't keeping up in that grade. And he said what we do is, and I'll paraphrase his words, that we force students to sit down and say, now you do English, now you do math, now you do science. His words were, the walking wounded make it to college. I don't know.
Wow.
So in a way, I think if we can get back to that system today, pandemic has helped us and we are online. If we can get kids to learn at their pace and help them when they are not keeping up with the class, I think that's going to help. For me, the nicest thing about Magic, I've always wanted my companies to do one thing, even if it's in a niche, where they have to be the best in the world. Right? In Headstrong, on Recall, that was our niche. Right. In Magic, I'm hoping that accessibility becomes the niche in which we become the best in the world. We're pretty good at it now. We've got a number of large publishers who've use us as their go-to, company for that. And we're recruiting and training a lot of people in that area. I hope over time that becomes a key, because you want to get kids who are on the spectrum, kids who have some kind of handicap is the wrong word, but some kind of learning disability to be able to learn as well as other kids. And accessibility helps in getting that done.
Yeah. So because a lot of the publishers that we work with and other clients, we're really just helping them to also get to that Title II compliance before the deadline here in the States in 2026. Do you envision Magic potentially leading beyond just compliance in Title II? So really setting the standards of accessibility or going beyond just those Title II compliance?
Yes, I do. I think once we establish ourselves as a major player in that area, then there'll always be, quote unquote, a standards committee. And if we can play a role in that, I don't think we can set the standard, but we can work with a standards committee to see how to do that. And we're finding, there are new things that are coming up all the time. Right. So it's a challenging area, but I think we've got some very good people working in it, and we should be able to stay ahead of the pack.
Yeah, I would really like to see more of us stepping in front of the conversation with that, because I think people aren't still well informed beyond those who are a part of that community. So it'd be cool for us to really step into the front for that conversation.
So I've talked to school systems in India. See, the US is fairly advanced. Every district has a certain percentage, 20, whatever the number is, of people who have some challenges. And so everyone insists on accessibility in a specific way that they want for different subjects. India, unfortunately, we're still struggling with educating our able kids. And so for them to focus on the ones who have challenges in learning is sort of pushed out till they get the basics right. I had talked to some of the state governments there, and we had looked at 2025 as being the year in which we would start working on that. It's been pushed out because there's been a change of government. So let's see. At some stage it'll come about, and then the market will be really large. But we don't have it right now.
Not yet. But it's in the future roadmap.
Yes, absolutely.
This is good. That's what's important, right? Doing the positive direction for change. All right. Next question. Can you share a moment or story from Magic Pathshala that personally reaffirmed why you pursue your philanthropic work?
I remember folks from Pearson coming and visiting us, and part of our QA that we did, the quality assurance on some of the accessibility work, we worked with the blind school in Delhi. Now, the blind school doesn't necessarily mean people who are completely blind, but who have a visual handicap. and we used them to do QA on the work we did.
Oh,
And
really?
and that really it impressed me for one, but it really made the folks from Pearson feel very good about how we were doing it and how we were encouraging people with those disabilities to become part of our process.
Yeah.
And I think that was the aha moment for me. I think we when we did that, we still do it. It's whenever we need to. And we do keep, so it gives them a job, it gives them an income, and it works out pretty well.
Wow. See, this is new news to me. I didn't know this happens. Now I know we're going to like highlight this in marketing, but just for that, because that's so powerful to hear that story and just to make others aware that we do create these products by actual feedback from the target market who's going to be using the product.
The other thing I wanted to mention, you were aware of Magic Pathshala.
Yeah.
So we do give 5% of our profit to CSR. So what we did, so mainly focused on education and mainly for the underprivileged. So we do a number of interesting things, and Preeti or Sumit can tell you about them. But the one that I went and inaugurated in a government school in Noida, we'd given them 10 digital classrooms. Wow. 800 students in that school, one teacher for every 150 kids, some crazy number like that, right? And it's amazing the difference it has made to that school. Now, we are hoping we can do one school a year in our local area, Noida, where in the state of UP, where they're located. And then help our people go in and do STEM education, help the kids there. But it's amazing what a difference it makes to the kids, and how demanding they are, and B, how quickly they get to use stuff. There was an experiment that a company did some time ago. They made a hole in the wall and put a display there with a keyboard, had the computer the other side, which was their office, and the wall had a slum. And they timed children how quickly they could learn to browse, and it was within less than a minute.
Wow.
Someone who never used a computer was able to come in and browse.
Wow.
So a fairly well-known experiment in India called Hole in the Wall. Just exposing these kids to all that, it's amazing to see the difference it's making for them. And a lot of them, in fact, a girl from that school, think of it, there's a school that has one teacher for every 150 children.
Yeah.
One of the girls from there made it to the IITs, where, how do I put it, some 3 to 5 million kids sit and about 15,000 get taken. So you can imagine.
Yeah. Wow. That's amazing. Because you guys help provide that opportunity for her to get to that point, which is so inspiring.
Yeah, it is. It's amazing to see that.
Yeah. Wow. No, because I always see the photos from the team going out and doing the volunteer work with Magic Pathshala. So it's cool to finally sit down and talk to you and hear about these stories. So inspiring. All right. Our next question. Do you think we are doing enough to prepare learners in underserved communities for the jobs of tomorrow?
No, I don't think so.
Wow.
But, we have to, the US is a little more advanced. They have an education system where you got community colleges and stuff.
Sure.
When the community colleges skill you, universities educate you. So it's learning versus skilling, and that's nicely defined and doesn't have any social stigmas. Unfortunately, in India, there is a stigma between people who are non-university graduates and who are skilled. Although it's changing slowly. So we have a lot of university graduates who, in my words, get a degree but no education and are unwilling to do skilled jobs. So we've set up IIT alumni. They've set up an organization called PARFI, Pan IITians Action for India. You can see it at parfi.org. They skill with a guarantee of jobs. So what we do is we arrange a loan for people. They come in, they pay back the loan when they get the job, and they do skilling. And so we do nurses for, women from subsistence farming families. We have, electricians, fitters, mechanics, the works. And we train them, sometimes upskill them, and we guarantee them a job at the end of it.
Oh, wow.
So it's sort of a
Wow.
different way of training.
Yeah.
We just don't train. We have a guarantee of a job. So we, a lot of people, we get a choice of a lot of people. So we can choose the ones who are quote unquote trainable.
Wow. And this is separate from traditional universities. Because I know in Indonesia, for example, they have programs where the companies come into the university and select people so that after they get their degree, they're guaranteed a job with the company. But this is different.
This is different. That happens with some universities where people then recruit them in their 6th semester, and then they're, not too much of it, but it does happen. This is different. This is like the community college.
Okay.
Right. India has something called the ITIs, not IITs, ITIs, which train the labor pool, skilled labor pool. A lot of them are being taken over by organizations like this, who would do a better job, a much more professional job of training people and making sure they're job ready, so to say.
Okay. Wow. So then continuing on this question more for the Magic side then, what else, because we're starting to do more of the workforce side with Magic's products and we have the sim labs being developed. Is this still enough to prepare students or what else can we do?
Is it enough? No, there's always a lot more that needs to be done.
Okay.
But in our own way, we are trying to see if we can prepare courseware, all the stuff that's needed to make kids more relevant for employment opportunities that are available today. Right now, we're going through a very confused phase because AI has come in. Everyone is still battling with how it's going to change the workforce, what's going to happen, why is it going to happen. I think part of the problem is there's a lot of hype around it. I think in most large organizations, CXOs are a little confused as to what the benefits are. A lot of money is gone into it. We don't see the benefits right now. Hopefully, we'll see the benefits as we go forward. It's also expensive to run it right now. Products are changing every few months. It's going to evolve. I think ultimately, while it's nice to have LLMs where you take whatever's available on the internet all over the world and put that as your database, so to say, but I think ultimately people will want LLMs that are relevant to their area. Then we'll start to see more relevant output that people can use a little better. It's going to take time. Every technology takes time. Unfortunately, a lot of it gets hyped to it. E-commerce got hyped, and people said in 99, 2000 that brick and mortar will go away. 25 years later, brick and mortar is still there. So there's a certain. This is a little different because till now, when technology has come, it's done. It's done work that tabulated or mathematical work. Here we've got a little more cognitive part coming in, and so it'll be a little different. How it's going to be different is anyone's guess. Everyone's got a prediction. I think when you add to that what's going to happen with quantum, suddenly everything's going to look different because computers as we know them are deterministic. Quantum is probabilistic. And so how that's going to impact just computers per se and AI, everyone has an opinion, everyone has a guess.
Of course. And that's not just like people-wise, it's also geographical-wise. As we're seeing different regions of the world approach it differently in education and its integration.
So while China and America are looking at, Gen AI generally, I think countries like India are a little more focused on solutions for their problems. Now, there are different approaches. I don't know which one is right. But ultimately, in my view, if you find solutions to your problems, that's more important than being a generalist that does everything for everyone.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm not going to keep going on AI because we're going to have a whole other hour-long conversation about that. But I really like what you said about, what the future of LLMs is going to be, because I feel I have this conversation with many people we do interview on this series, and everyone always, as you said, has a different opinion and insight, which I like, because that means we're having a proactive conversation around the topic, but it also leads us as to where are we going to go in the future. Awesome. Our last question. In your opinion, is EdTech today driven more by innovation, by profit, or by mission to improve lives? And then where should this balance lie?
Yeah, that's a very good question. I mean, there's tech being developed with all three objectives in mind. There are different companies doing different things. Now, where is it going to go? I don't know, but I can tell you what I would like. I would like it to have a mission, but to also be able to make profit, become self-sustainable and more, so that you can keep innovating towards that and other missions that you want to accomplish. Right. So let's say my son runs a family office and he tries to invest in companies that have some kind of impact, that make a difference in someone's life. And, as you get older, you sort of realize that earning money is fun, but donating money is a lot more satisfying. And so, I think you've got to have all three objectives. You can't, in my view, if you go out with a quote unquote a begging bowl and ask for money to do what you're doing, it's always at some stage that's going to overtake everything you're doing.
Right.
So you've got to find a way to make it self-sustainable, maybe even make some money and have an impact.
Yeah.
And to continue to do that, you've got to innovate. So it's all three are sort of juxtapositioned amongst each other in some form.
Yeah. Completely right. The balance, which I feel is easier said to achieve than done. Yeah. All right. Well, Arjun, it's been a pleasure. Do you have any final words that you'd like to add before we close out?
No. I just think if people keep that in mind, your last point about making sure that they make an impact, not just make money. How do I put it? In my view, after you made a certain amount of money, you met what you need to do in life, you made your family comfortable, you have to look at it differently. You can't keep making money. That, to me, doesn't make sense. Yes, you've got shareholders, they want a return, they get the return as long as you give them a return. If people get too greedy, my point is then the company, in my view, doesn't have the right culture.
Yeah.
But, that's my view.
Yeah. Well, I agree, because I feel like, if you're going to build a company, you need that mission and company culture to support it in the end. Otherwise, people are just going to be motivated by the price tag.
Yeah.
Yeah. Totally agree. Well, thank you so much, Arjun. This was a really interesting, engaging conversation. And as I mentioned, I like seeing all the photos from the team in India for the corporate social responsibility that you guys have been doing over there, and to hear the story about with Pearson, hearing the feedback from the community that we're helping. It's very inspiring. I look forward to hearing more about it and learning more while you're here in New York. And thank you so much for joining today.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah, and thank you everyone for watching. Be sure to tune in on the next episode, and remember to stay curious. Thank you. Bye.